Yeah, just want to talk to you about people dealing with ostomies and different ones that people can have. In my experience, it was a big struggle. It always is to start off with pretty much everything that is new to you and is out of the ordinary will always be hard to deal with. I think it is more particularly hard to deal with an ostomy than most things because of the nature of it. I found it very, very hard. It's not normal. I had a partner that had to deal with it at the same time, and also my child. So obviously it's not just you that's dealing with it. If you've got a family or you've got a partner, you're doing it together. It affects you in different. It affects people in different ways. I think, depending on how the big operation has came around. Myself, it was my choice. They wanted to try more medication, but nothing was working. And I think when you've been locked indoors for so long and you've felt so poorly and horrible, you just want it over and done with. So I got to the point where I said, just take it out. So I knew what was going on. I'd done my research. I knew what was happening. But you get someone who, like a friend that I know, she actually had the operation pretty much the same time, but I didn't know her. She was just a lady in the next room, and I made friends with her, and she's a lovely lady. But unfortunately for her, she didn't have no choice. She didn't know what was going on. She didn't know what colitis was. She just tried medication and it didn't work, and she had to have an operation. And if I was her, I would have been petrified, not knowing what is happening. You like to know what you're letting yourself in for. It is a bit of a difference, whereas I dealt with it really, really easily because I just knew what was happening. I could have easily said, well, do you know what, I'll wait a bit and I'll keep having more medicine, but the chances are that I knew my colon was going to be taken out at some point, so the sooner the better, I think. But not only that, you also can have the reversal. And I'll probably do another video at some point to talk about why I want the reversal and some things I think about it. But I'll do that in a different one. It all depends really on sort of how it comes around. And I suppose I was a lucky one to sort of choose it. And I went in for an appointment and they measured me up or drawed the little dot that they're supposed to where your stoma comes through, and I had a really successful surgery. I had keyhole surgery, all went fine, and I know that you can have I think they call it a fistula, where they bring the bottom of the rectum sort of out so it can heal a little bit more, depending on how severe the colon was inflamed. I didn't have that. So I suppose that was another thing, because I know that people who have a fistula, sometimes they find that more hard to deal with than the actual stoma bag and the main one, which is a bit strange because you'd think that, it's only a little bit of fluid and that is coming out of it, so it wouldn't be so bad. But no, it's the other way round. But I don't have to deal with that, so personally I don't know much about it. I can only say what I've experienced. But yeah, a lot of my friends and family have dealt with it really well. My mum in particular, she's always said, I'm really proud of you. I don't know how you do it. And my mum's, she's sort of like a young hippie mum. She's like my sister and my best friend. So, she likes to wear nice things and she likes to go out. So, sometimes I feel like I'm the mum to her. So, but she's lovely. I do love her. And she's helped me through a lot. If it wasn't for my mum, I don't know how I would have been here today, to be honest. Same with my partner. He's been really, really good. I was really worried, and I'm sure every girl or even guy, if they're in a relationship, that something like this would happen, that people would leave you. Well, it all sort of, it accounts for what, like, sort of how much they love you, really, because my partner Dave, he stayed with me, you know, he's put up with all the stuff. Sorry, my little owl. So yeah, I mean, he's still here, and he's great. If any guy or girl would run a mile because you've just had this operation, then let them go. Honestly, they're not worth it, because you're still the same person. It's just a little abnormality, you know, nothing major. You can't tell. The only time it would really affect is when you're butt naked. You know, you wear clothes, I go out, and people don't even know about it. I sometimes, when I get to know people, I like to tell them, I like to tell my story. You know, my friends and that have been like, oh wow, can I see? Oh my god, I never knew, or I didn't even know what that was. So I like to make awareness of it, because I think I was so shocked that, one, people didn't know about it, and two, that lots and lots and lots of people had it. But I think because of the stigma and what it was, and what it is, you know, not everyone talks about their poo, you know, but I suppose we're special, you know, we do it in a different way, and we need to sort of let people know, because it is such a thing to deal with on your own, and I think the best thing is just to talk about it. I mean, I've tried to make awareness of it, and I'll show you here a little article I done in a magazine. Here's me and my daughter. I was on steroids, so I looked really, really big. And then on here was me and my partner at a party, but I was extremely ill. I was very, very skinny then. And then you can see down here that's me and my ostomy bag, or Kathy. I'm not actually using that bag anymore because I don't like that size, so I wish I had the smaller one on. So yeah, I mean, that just sort of says the basics of what I went through, and it, you know, it says Jasmine's condition, and it explains what it is and the symptoms, treatment, and what is a stoma. And I like that because, you know, it's sort of like explaining what it is a little bit and my story. And you know, there's quite, people are like shocked because of how young I was. I mean, I'm 21 and I had the surgery last year, but I did get diagnosed at like 17. So a lot of people are like, whoa, you're so young. So yeah, that's good. I mean, I'm a bit, you know, ashamed because it's just like a chat magazine, but you know, you got to start somewhere, haven't you? And I like that. I thought that was really cool. I was really proud of myself. I wish it was written a little bit different, but hey, I done it, you know. I'm planning on hopefully trying to do some more things with like awareness or anything like that. But I don't know yet. I think I just got to see what's out there. I know I'll probably do something on IBD Awareness Day. I think that's in May. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check that. So yeah, there are so many things about dealing with ostomies. You've just got to be confident in yourself and love yourself. You know, it's not your fault that you've had this operation, sort of thing. You know, you've needed it to be alive or be well, and if you're well, then nothing else can beat that. So I think for anyone who's got an ostomy and you're getting on with your life, I think you've done brilliantly. Thumbs up for all you guys, because it is really, really hard. I still have days where I'm like, oh my god, I can't be bothered, or oh my god, I feel awful in myself. But in the long run, I sit there and think, do you know what? I've just done this amazing thing and I've dealt with it, you know, and it's not forever. I mean, it could be, depending on how the reversal goes, but I mean, that's ages away yet. But I I've felt that humour has helped a lot as well, whereas I make a joke out of it, and like I said, I tell people about it, and I just make a joke of it. I think the only people I really take to heart is the people that I care what their opinions are, like my partners. If he says a joke, sometimes I don't mind, because we'll go around a supermarket and he's taking a mick out of me or whatever, which is funny. We're like best friends, me and my partner. We have a laugh. But I think when he says some things, I might be like, oh, who does he really think that? And then he says to me, I'm only joking, but you know what, I'm just being a hormonal female, I suppose. So honestly, I think dealing with it takes time. It really, really does. Also, like I said, everyone deals with it differently. So I would really recommend talking to people. I know that the hospitals or your stoma healthcare person, they can recommend you to someone that's roughly the same age or same area, not even an area, just someone who's going through the same. They can recommend you to speak to them. So, you know, it will help. And I've met a few people who I even met them before I had the op, and asking them how their operation went, before, like when I was contemplating, do I have the op, do I not? I met someone or two people that had the operation and they were happy. So that also helped me to deal with it. So obviously anyone out there who is thinking, do I have it? Oh, I want to know what it is. You know, for you guys to speak to someone like me or anyone else who's gone through it, it really, really is a help. Plus, I've made friends out of it. You know, great guys, and they're really, really nice. And I still speak to them now. It is a bit hard because some are a bit far. You know, got families. It's just how things are. But I'm glad I done it. I really, really do. I recommend anyone to speak first, because it's different to anybody, you know, different reasons, different lifestyle, anything. But talking is the best policy. Honestly, I'd talk to anyone who's experienced it. Okay, so I hope this has helped a little bit to anybody. My experience hasn't been too bad. I mean, as you can see, I'm dealing with it quite well, so I definitely recommend you talking to somebody, okay? And I'm always here if you want to talk to me, okay? So I'll add my email address to this video, and if you're nice to me, then I'll reply. Alright, see you later, guys.